Okay, so here we are again. We are taking a look at something kind of unique, courtesy of the wonderful Seattle local computer market that I have access to. You see really cool stuff like this every now and then. So this is a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 690. This is a 12-year-old video card. These were originally released in 2012. This was the top-of-the-line video card that NVIDIA offered back then. This is a card that was really built for a different era of gaming. So this was back when we did two-card systems. So if you've ever heard of SLI, this card is SLI, but built onto one board. So I was not able to nail down for certain if this is a pair of GTX 670s or a pair of GTX 680s. But it's one or the other. I always thought it was two 670s, but I found some stuff today that suggested two 680s. My guess would be that if it is two 680s, it's probably a pair of underclocked 680s, just because it's on one board. And so the way this works is you've got one of these heat sinks on each card with the fan in the middle. And then it has the ability to, so it just blows both directions, basically. So it's got out there and your normal right there. So this was actually $1,000 brand new. So people that talk about cards being too expensive today, I'm telling you guys, these kind of cards, they call these Halo cards. These are the top of the line cards. Every so many generations, a card like this comes along. These have been, and price range is inflation has been massive since 2012. So, $1,000 in 2012. I don't even know. Maybe I'll pull it up on camera, get some video of that. So this card would have been, I mean, I'm gonna bet just without before looking, I'm gonna say pretty close to something like a 4090. And NVIDIA has done a few of these, but so when this card was new, even then we were towards the end of the life of SLI. I think Crysis 3 was one of the last major releases that SLI was actually relevant on. So it was kind of an irrelevant card almost from the get-go. I'm kind of surprised anyone bought these, to be honest. Just for what it is. I mean, this is not, you can compare it to something like a 4090, but it works totally different, and it's a little more specialized than something like a 4090 because you got the two cards in SLI, and the software has to be written for it, and it's not the same. But we're going to take a look at a couple of games, and just to kind of give you an idea, this will not run just about anything modern. I tried to run Cyberpunk, and had it supported FSR, AMD's version of DLSS, it would have been playable, but this will not work with FSR. I thought it was related to the SLI, but even after I disabled the SLI and ran in a single card, it appears, I think I may have had similar issues with NVIDIA 7 series. So it appears you need, if you're going to use it with NVIDIA, it appears you need a GTX 900 series or newer video card to make it work right, even on a modern system. But we're going to take a look at a few, we'll probably do maybe Fortnite will probably be the only thing really modern I look at. Everything else will probably be like 2018 and older. Maybe even some Crysis. Because the only question that matters when it comes to this video card, can it run Crysis? So let's get to it and see how it runs. So this is the game, one of the games, but this is what the GTX 690 was really made for. So I apologize for the vertical tearing. For some reason, this would not recognize a frame rate for VSync above like 50 FPS. I don't know what the reason was, because it appears that the video card will not output higher than 100 hertz to the monitor.
but for whatever reason, it won't V-sync to that for some reason. I can't figure out why. There's so many things here. This is an original install of the game. This is not... What did I just lose? What just happened there? Did I die? I died somehow. What the heck? Somehow I died. That was odd. The frame rate suddenly tanked too. That'll happen here too. With this game, everything will be running great, and then suddenly your frame rate will tank. I wonder if it's this mist. Is it the mist? It doesn't look like it's the mist. Did some North Koreans kill me? They're probably shooting at me, and I didn't see them. So it's hitting pretty close to 60 FPS, which even in 2012, this game really still pushed systems. Like, this really... I think it was the GTX... I think a GTX 980 Ti was the first card that I ever ran this on that I said, yes, we've achieved, you know, the full Crysis experience. I think it was the 980 Ti was the first card that I actually thought that on. So, yeah, it's actually running pretty good, and I'm pretty sure the SLI is working because this is pretty decent performance even for this for a card this new. That's the thing with Crysis, is that it was so far advanced at the time that it took years, many years before it was actually able to really run to its best. And on Crysis, you don't need 60 FPS. This is a game that was made back when when it was common to run. Oh, they're gonna kill me. I have to remember to use my suit right. Oh, dang it. It's been a while. This, the AI on this is actually kind of hard on this game. Let's see if I can kill him. So this is SLI at its height. What's going on here? Oh, he's hitting me from the truck. Oh no. Okay, I'll turn the volume on for a second. We'll play for a minute.
Energy critical. Maximum armor. Maximum strength. Maximum armor.
Yeah, you got to go up this way because the guy with the sniper rifle with the first distance scope that you get is usually camped out right up here. Let's see if he's here. He's usually standing... Oh, no. Where is he? Usually the guy with the scope is right there. He probably just didn't draw him. This game does weird stuff like that sometimes. Okay. That's 5 minutes. That's good. You guys can kind of see like what kind of performance we were at on here. So let's try the next. Okay, so we are now on Crysis 3. I skipped Crysis 2 because, well, it wasn't as good as the first or the third. So we're doing 1 and 3. So it is running at what most people consider a low frame rate, and that is because I have the settings on mostly high. Let's get that up a little bit higher. This is a game that was written to run sub 60 FPS. I know everybody thinks they need 60 FPS, but this game was written to run at a time when most people couldn't hit 60 FPS at any sort of decent resolution. So as long as it's a solid frame rate over 30 and it's stable, it's going to look fine. And this is probably the fastest processor that I've ever paired one of these types of video cards with, even though it's comparatively low end today. So I think it'll be fine. I'll speed it up if it's getting sluggish, but honestly, it's looking perfectly smooth. So we're gonna run how it is. So I'll do a couple minutes so you guys can see it run.
There he is! Surrounding target! You are good to go. Move out and stay sharp. I see him! He disappeared! Surround him! I'm covering him. Can't hide forever, Prophet. We'll find you. He's hunting us! Bravo! Get moving! You are good to go. Look! Stay alert! Alpha, Bounder! I got you covered. Use EMP! We're being hunted!
Ah, they got me! I have it set at the maximum difficulty level, so there's a little bit of a challenge to it. But I'm just trying to do a couple of minutes of each of these games, so I'll call that good. I think this gives you guys a good idea of how well it's running on this. So anyway, let's get on to the next thing, whatever I end up using for that.
Okay, so now that we're back, yeah, as you saw on some of the older but not ancient titles, this is okay. Nothing made recent, even like 2015 recent, like even within 10 years, like nothing within the last 10 years supports SLI. And even the games that like supposedly Fortnite supported it a little while back, but I tried it. It never worked. It was never any good. But very, very clearly, as I said before, a piece of technology from a different era of gaming. You could even run. Oh man, I thought you could. Okay, no, it only has one SLI, so I believe you could run two of these in SLI, which would have technically been quad SLI. But it was an impractical piece of hardware, never really took off, and now it's just a curious piece of history. But I thought you guys would find it interesting to take a look at this, because it's not something you see every day, especially a working one. I see a lot of dead dual GPU cards. They tend to cook themselves. This one appears to have been fairly lightly used, so I'm definitely grateful to the seller that I picked this up for. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, guys.